bind to your brain for the rest of your life.
Oh my God.
Ain't this crazy? Well, look, that don't just make you pick your man different now. You like, I can't just be humping on everybody.
I should have waited on my husband.
In fact, when you have sex, you become eternally bonded with somebody forever. So imagine a woman that just had multiple sex partners. That's why you're supposed to be with your man and stick with him for the rest of your life. You know, you literally are getting the personalities of all these different men, and then we wonder why we have so many women that is messed up mentally, and they don't even know it's because all of the multiple sex.
All right, Shalom. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushua Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth and sincerity, and give honors to the hopeful elect out there that's pushing this truth to the four corners of the globe. To you, I say Shalom. This lesson is pretty simple, as I played the clip that kind of explained on a cardinal level as to how sex is marriage. And I want to get a couple of scriptures that's going into that to prove the point, of course, through the scriptures. So the first scripture I'm going to get is Genesis 24:67, and it reads, "And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife. And he loved her, and Isaac was comforted after his mother's death." Right, because, you know, Isaac brought Rebekah into the tent, and they didn't just play patty cake. You know, they did the deed, and she became his wife. Now, of course, that we know this, explaining the ideal of marriage. There's a ceremony, you know, token of diary, and, you know, or token of virginity, and there's more to it than that, but pretty much, you know, sex constitutes as marriage. Okay, and then I want to get let's go to Exodus chapter 22 and verse 16. And it reads, "If a man entice a maid," which is entice, you know, goes into, you know, when you sweet talking her, you're rubbing up on her, you know, you're enticing her, you're getting her, you're wooing her, you know, so to speak. You're you know, you're getting that You're doing the deed before you do the deed. You know, those who know what I'm saying, those who know, they know, right? That is not betrothed, which means that, you know, she doesn't have a man or a husband, you know. In this particular time, women were virgins, so you could pick a woman that was a virgin, meaning she wasn't betrothed, because what? Sex is marriage. And, you know, we're getting into that. "And lie with her, he shall surely endue her to be his wife." Actually, that word is endow. Endow her to be his wife. All right, so let's get that in the blue letter. Let's go to Exodus. What was it? 22. I think 16. Right. Let's go to the interlinear. Let's break these words down. Let's get that entice. So, you know, persuade or seduce, persuade. It says to deceive, but we know that wasn't going on. To make open, you know, you're getting her ready. Okay, let's go into the word betrothed. To be betrothed, engaged, basically to not have a spouse. And let's get one more word I want to get. Is this endow, to obtain or to require by paying, purchase, price, give a diary, to obtain in exchange. Again, because like I mentioned, you have to give the father a token of diary because you're taking a servant out his household, which is his daughter. Because, we know that the woman's main purpose or nature is to be a helpmate to the man. Right? All right. So we got that. Let's get back to the scriptures. Let's go to Jeremiah 3:1. And it reads, they say, if a man put away his wife, and she go from him and become another man's, shall he return unto her again? Shall not that land be greatly polluted? But thou hast played the harlot with many lovers, yet return again to me, saith the Lord. This scripture, the context of this scripture is really talking about Israel, but the Lord's giving, through the prophet Jeremiah, the Lord's giving an example or an analogy of how we should look at things. Because, if a woman goes and opens up her womb to another man, based off scripture, you shouldn't take her back. She's polluted, and the video clip prove that sperm can make its way. When sperm makes its way into a woman, it sits with her for the rest of her life. She's imprinted. That's the way you imprint. That's the way you create. Sex is how you create life. Usually if brothers know that when you have sex with a woman after you've been dealing with her or courting her, after y'all have sex, then she becomes sort of imprinted onto you. She's more emotional. She's more she wants to be with you. So it mentally and in a spiritual aspect. All right. Next scripture I want to get is let's go to John 4:19. The woman saith unto him, Sir. Oh, Salakia. Let me start at verse 17. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Actually, let me start up a verse. Let me start at 15. The woman saith unto him, Sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw. Yahushua said unto her, Go, call thy husband, and come hither. Because Yahushua was actually following scripture. Because the scriptures say what? If she may learn, roughly paraphrasing, then she may learn from her husband. So Yahushua is saying, go get your husband so I can teach him and give him the living waters. And then he teach or the woman that is at home. Because she's subjected to her, under subjection or submission to her husband. That's scripture. All right. Verse 16 reads, Yahushua said unto her, Go, call thy husband, and come hither. The woman answered and said, I have no husband. Yahushua said unto her, Thou hast well said, I have no husband. So she said it with confidence, I have no husband. But check this out. So Yahushua, verse 18, for thou hast had 5 husbands, and he whom thou now hast is not thy husband, and that sayest thou truly. So, Yahushua perceived, because Yahushua knows all things. So he knew that this woman she slept with 5 other men. And she boldly said that she had no husband. Okay. Verse 19, the woman saith unto him, Sir, I perceive that thou art a prophet. Because Yahushua just met this woman, and he wasn't supposed to know that, but yet he did know that. And that's how prophets work. The prophets will seek things through the spirit and come and confront said individual and prophesy, which means to say before. So you being a prophet, you're saying something either before it happens, or you're perceiving something as it happens. Right? Okay, next scripture I want to get is Mark Mark 10 and 18. No, Salakia 8. I'm going to start at verse 7. No, I'm going to start at verse 6. But from the beginning of the creation, Yahweh made them male and female. Right? Because that's the order. Notice that male comes first, then female. That's the order. So the man is over the woman. But also too, this scripture is indicating that man and woman is supposed to be together. We got all these, we call them a Letterman jacket. The LBG community, all this confusion out here. But the scriptures is clear and concise on what the Lord wants and ordains to be righteous. Verse 7, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, right? Because, once you leave the household of your father and mother and you find a wife, and y'all do the deed, then you start your own legacy. You start your own family. You're not supposed to, that's just the order of things. Verse 7, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. So then they are no more twain, but one flesh. And twain means two. And that two becomes one. And how do you become one flesh? When, so to speak, when do you become one flesh? During sex. Right? Okay. Let me see. Is that it? Is that it? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope this lesson was edifying. Just a quick hitter. Just to sum up some confusion out there. And another thing too, a lot of people don't accept that sex constitutes as marriage, and from my understanding is because a lot of people don't want to take accountability for as many partners as they have. But I mean, if you logically think about it, when you're having sex with somebody on a spiritual plane, what do you think is happening? People don't take that into account. And fluids are being swapped. an infection or a disease can be shared between those two people. I mean, it's a lot going on. You know, it's not just you humping on somebody, you know, and a lot of people that tend to downplay this act of intercourse, you know, say that no, you know, through the script, prove to me that sex is marriage. So I just wanted to get that out and prove that you know, sex does constitute this marriage, though there is, you know, or at least back in those days we had a ceremony, you know, or something like that. But it's more than just going down and signing a piece of paper and doing the Esau's way and saying, okay, we're married. No, you know, even back in the old times when the marriage had to be solidified, and the way it had to be solidified is if that man constituted into that woman. It has to be, you know, that's the way it's always been done. You know, especially when you watch any of those old time movies, you know. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. Again, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Kakadash, Shalom.